I'm not coming on camera, Kevin. I told them already.
Why not?
I told them already. So
Why
so
not?
upset about it. I like that he's not on. It's a little more mysterious. Mr. G.
George?
My question was for Owen, who's supposed to be my wine guy. I'm desperate to make Owen a guy because he's married for Dennis as a handy friend. So Owen wants to be, quote unquote, my handy friend, but I said that job's filled already by Dennis. So I'm trying to make Owen my wine guy, but I have to come on pod apparently to talk about wine because I can't just call my friend for some advice about some wine.
That's okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Why would you waste a conversation and not record it? It's like giving away money.
Okay.
You're a finance guy.
And as I already told them, Kevin, your guys' tricked work. I know I'm just here for the engagement.
Yeah, we need at least like 3,000 views.
George will bring you 3,000 views. Don't you worry about that. All right. So we're trying to select wine. And basically, we're just going to offer a red and a white. And that was fine. But then we don't know anything about wine. And then we were looking at everything else. And like all these bottles are basically the same price and everything. So like, do we just offer variety? And so I was calling Owen to understand if we offer just a red and a white, is it better just to offer the variety?
So, I mean, variety, obviously, most people would enjoy because if they like a specific one, they can pick it. So that's, I think, goes without saying. If you're going to go down the middle with a red wine, you probably want to go with a Pinot Noir because it's not so tannic. It's kind of the middle of the road.
It's not
like
satanic.
Yeah, Owen, you can skip the.
Owen does know. This is.
I trust you.
Owen does know wine.
Cabernet is
going
to be. Cabernet is maybe too strong for some people. Some people that really like bold wines, they'll go with Cabernet. But Pinot Noir, I don't think you'll go wrong with. But I think you should pick potentially. This is difficult because it's also in San Francisco, so people are probably expecting you to have a variety of wines or like something good.
If there's no difference in labor, I guess, or cost,
yeah,
then I think variety.
Variety if there's no difference. But if you're just trying to single it out, Pinot Noir for your normal, some people might come at me and be like, that's a terrible choice. But if you're going for mass appeal, that works.
No, I agree with that. Pinot Noir is like not too dry. It's not too sweet. It's like in the middle.
And then for your white, I probably just go with like a Pinot Grigio or a Pinot Gris, not like Chardonnay. That's too sweet.
I like Chardonnay.
Or Sauvignon Blanc. That's another good one. You can go with that.
Okay, so I see a Sauvignon Blanc, a 2022.
Okay.
Vermentino.
Oh, and do the years mean anything to you, or is that too beyond
years? Years definitely mean a thing in general, but no one's going to care about that at the actual wedding. Maybe some people will, but
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, skip on that. I don't know that.
Okay, there's a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chardonnay, then there's an old vine Grenache.
Yeah, I like that. That's Spanish. Grenache is a Spanish wine, and it's more like peppery, so it's more spicy.
That sounds good. I want to try that.
Is it like jalapeno-y?
Yeah.
No,
like
it's not what you guys think.
Like a buffalo wing?
It's not going to burn your mouth. It's just that's different. So that's a little more bold as well.
We could see you could drink the most of those before crying tears. We'll do like a hot ones challenge with the pepper
Kevin
wine.
or George, is there a red blend? And does it say what kind of blend it is?
So then there's two Pinot Noirs, a Circos and a Terra, both from 2022.
And George, you thought this would be a good pod topic?
George, I think
George's
go wrong.
stress level is so high these days. I could just tell. Hang in there, George.
I'm not coming on camera.
Hang in there, George. What are you losing hair or something?
For this variety, is it they're making you pick the variety?
No, so they have a set wine list that with like 10 or 12 wines that they can offer like multiple bottles with. And again, we're just trying to decide, do we offer the variety? But there are a few that are just like, okay, well, we love you guys, but we don't love you that much.
Yeah.
If we had to put a monetary dollar on it.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't get. No one's gonna care about expensive wine at a wedding.
So yeah,
right?
But there is a red wine. Is a red wine just like a blend? It's called a Terra wine, red wine.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Okay. And then do people drink sangria? Is that a thing?
Some people do. I don't know if that'd be a real wedding one. That would definitely wouldn't be an all-night
That's really
drink.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's usually not
All right.
bottled though. That's like
It is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
So we thought.
Sangria is like Spanish though, right? Is it Mexican or Spanish? I know it's something like that. Owen?
Yeah.
For his wine guy, you're really not getting into this, Owen.
I know.
You're like giving him like the most
like on his phone.
Yeah. Show some passion.
I feel like I gave a good I felt like I gave really good answers.
Yeah.
I don't know how many are you allowed to pick? I think that's the kind of thing. Like I would just go to them and be like, what do most people pick? And stick
So it
with that.
sounds like for sure the first two would be Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot.
Yeah, I think that
For the
those
red
would
and
be
your
good.
whites. And then, if you add in Chardonnay or the Grenache.
If you add in a
all that stuff.
Chardonnay, I'd say those two are going to be your biggest movers. So order maybe a higher percentage of those two. And if you want to get a percentage of Chardonnay, a percentage of Cabernet, I think that would be two good picks.
Dennis, what are you drinking? Just a glass of water?
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water.
Oh, good for you.
And then the Grenache.
Just for the
though.
guy.
If you had Grenache there, I'd probably be drinking that the most.
Oh, gosh. Oh, and that's the expensive one.
Oh,
Sorry.
gosh, on the Grenache. George, are you sticking around for the whole pod or just this section?
No, I'm out. I need to go. I wanted this to be a 2 to 3 minute.
Do you want to hear my local
conversation
Cincy
with
story really quick?
Did I help it? Wait, did I help at all, George?
TBD.
I don't even give you my opinion. This guy, I can't satisfy George's idea.
You weren't passionate enough. I'm on George's side.
I'm with George here too. You were not
Owen's
showing like
he was bored of it.
confidence in those. You were like,
Owen, yeah.
What?
if you
I
want
said
honest
Pinot
feedback-
Noir, Sauvignon Blanc.
But I want
Definitely move
passion
with those.
behind it.
I got no passion behind it. You got
George-
passion with building
George, do you want to hear my local Cincy
kitchen,
story?
Dennis? Oh, fuck
Yes.
it. I'm about
Okay.
to log off. George, you're taking
It'll
the
only
rest
take
of the
it only take 2
pod
minutes.
for me.
Okay, so yesterday I was going to the gas station per usual.
I was gonna say what?
I was going to my local gas station. This time I was actually just straight up getting gas. I pull up into the gas station, like underneath the, what do you call it? Underneath.
Wait, George Nofel's recording has stopped due to an incoming call. George, you're getting a phone call?
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Okay.
I called another wine guy.
Oh,
I'm hoping to
boy.
get better results out of him.
Oh.
If I'm being honest,
Burn.
I'm shopping around for a wine guy, and I'm not sure Owen got the job.
Okay,
That's fine by me. Too much pressure, but we'll see how bad the wine is at the wedding.
So I stopped by the gas station at the pump. Okay, I'm at the pump. A car parked in front of me. Just it looks like they just finished pumping gas. They're walking out of the store. It's a guy that looks like a vampire, pitch black hair, white, very white skin, and I think right away that guy looks exactly like Jack White of the White Stripes. Which no reason he has, as far as I'm aware, no ties to Cincinnati. So I'm just like, wow, that guy looks a lot like Jack White. So then I start to like look around the room for clues, and I look at the car, and I'm like, it's got to be a nice car if it's Jack White. It's a Range Rover. I'm like, okay, that checks that. And then I looked at the plates, Nashville, Tennessee plates. So I looked up quickly while he was still there. He lives in Nashville currently. And then I'm like, okay, I'm now at 85% sure this was Jack White. And then I'm like, okay, he's with the girl who's still in the store. So I caught a glimpse at the girl in the store. Like, she also looks like a vampire, pitch like black hair, white skin. And so I looked up his wife. It's this other artist named Olivia Jean, who was identical to the woman in the store. Then they drove off. And I'm like, now at that point, I'm 100% sure I just saw Jack White at this local Cincinnati gas station. And I'm still trying to put together the pieces of why the fuck he was there. It was one of the most...
Yeah, why was he there? That's the question. That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
Did you look at his schedule? Has he got tours going on?
He's not touring. No, nothing.
I don't think he would drive his own car if he's touring.
He does a lot of... So in Nashville, he has his own studio.
Why would he drive his own car from, like, he's a rich guy. Driving, 5 hours from Nashville to Cincinnati? He's driving there
and the
with
weird
his
part,
own car?
And the weird part is, you know my neighborhood. It's not exactly off the highway. It's not like a natural stopping point for him to, like, get off and get gas.
But isn't J.D. Vance lives very near your neighborhood, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any ties, but
maybe there's some sort of connection with that.
Okay.
Like,
So
some bill coming out.
my initial theory was like, and this one's so outlandish, but I have to just say it, is that he just got inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame this week. So I'm like, maybe he needs to drive up to Cleveland and do some paperwork.
Oh,
Or he wants to check it out, the Rock Hall. Like, let me see.
I was like, my first reaction of like, maybe he needs to go to Cleveland and just
well,
like,
he does, didn't they? They did just get inducted.
yeah, this
didn't
past week, like within like 20, like within 48 hours.
And you saw him when?
Last night.
That's why he's coming back.
Why would he drive to
But
go?
that's
Probably
not
wanted to go.
his-
He probably wanted to go to some food, get some food somewhere. There's some good place, and he's like, I guess.
No,
I'll
but
just
why?
drive around
Why
and
would
get
he have
some
to go to
gas."
Cleveland for being inducted? It wasn't like the ceremony. It was just like they named the inductees.
Oh,
So it's not
When
like
did
that's what I'm
they-
saying. Like, why would he have to go there? Like to go like shake
Yeah,
some hands?
he
and
got
be like,
his dates.
Thank you.
Hey, he got his dates mixed up, man.
That's
I don't know
wait.
what to tell you. He's like, wait, I'm not supposed to be here today. Oh my god, I got to change my plans completely.
Wait, I got some information here, I think. Someone commented on Facebook and said Jack White is in Cincinnati. A busy week seeing Ben Folds perform with the Cincinnati Symphony. Who is this, though? Oh, this is some random lady. Why is this appearing when I say Jack White, Cincinnati? Some random girl. Just Jack White in Nashville. Oh, she saw Jack White, too. Fuck, I'm sorry. Jack at Riot Fest?
So you have no further advancements on this story.
No, there's someone that commented and said Jack White is in Cincinnati, and this was on April 17th, 2025.
This is just like, ooh, Jack White was part of the White Stripes.
Well, not to dive too much more into this, but I've talked to a few other people who have told me two different things. One, I talked to a coworker who said that they heard from through the grapevine that he has friends in Cincinnati and he likes to hang out in Clifton, Owen, over like North Side Clifton area, where Owen used to live, very hipster. That's a running theory. And then I just talked to the gas station clerk who also spotted him with me, and I was like, "Did you hear any explanation for why he was there?" And she said she claims that she heard he has a house down the street. So
Oh,
so we're hearing multiple
definitely-
things.
That's possible. That is possible.
maybe he, I mean,
That
he's
seems
rich.
more realistic.
It's it's
more
like he's
realistic.
rich.
Has his own car in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
driving around.
But it had Nashville plates.
That's fine. He's
Okay.
not going to register his car in a different state for any reason.
No, that's okay. Well,
That's my favorite theory, that he lives there.
yeah, I just can't understand like what drew him here. He doesn't have any like family or anything.
Kevin, I've never seen you wear a Cleveland shirt. Surprise. I thought you were anti-Cleveland.
I would never wear
apparel.
a Cleveland shirt in Cleveland, and I would never wear like a Cincinnati shirt in Cincy. It's just kind of corny to do that.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I've never seen that.
It's that brand where I'm from. They sell it at like Dick's. You've
Is
heard
it
of
only Cleveland
No,
where
they
they're from?
no, they do like everywhere.
Here we go. I got the theory why Jack White is in there. So, Jack White was born John Gillis, but changed his name to Jack White after marrying Meg White. He and Meg White lived in a house
thought that was his
in
sister.
in Cincinnati, Mexican town neighborhood, which he had previously bought from his parents. They lived in that house after they got married in 1996. So
Oh.
he's probably doing stuff for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to do like some recordings of like, this is where he was, or maybe like a montage video. And Meg White is his wife. You didn't know that?
No, they are famously.
They pretended like their brother sister, and it was all Jack White's like doing. So he made it seem like they're his sister, but they were married and they're divorced, and it was a rocky relationship. And Jack White kind of just made all of the decisions.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
Oh.
either way, it checks out. Sounds like he has a house in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Where's
think
Mexican
so.
town?
It's probably where I live. Probably used to be Mexican
Because
town.
there is that Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, it's probably-
Is that what they call Mexican
Welcome-
town?
it's
Just one Mexican
It's
restaurant.
called
He
gentrification.
works there.
It wasn't always people like me living in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, Owen. But speaking of just all this research you're doing on social media and stuff,
Dude,
why?
he received the key to Cincinnati even by the mayor back in 2018. This guy's got ties to Cincinnati like you wouldn't believe.
Wow. Okay. Well, now it's time for you to log off social media. Why?
Okay. It's because of this gorilla thing. I
Oh yeah.
was
What
like,
gorilla thing?
what the fuck?
Yeah,
What is this? I see a million gorilla stuff pop up, and it's like one guy versus 100 gorillas, and I was like, I just need to get to the bottom of this because I want to understand the
no,
joke.
you're
And
completely
after-
wrong on it.
All right, well, give me a second. After reviewing it for not hours, minutes, few minutes, I was just like, this is the least funny thing. The memes for it are not funny at all, but everyone else is loving it. And I feel like this is where I don't understand the internet and what's funny on there. And I feel like I got to slowly log off because
Can we circle back for a
that's all
second?
that's on there.
I missed something. What is the gorilla thing?
Dennis is about to tell us.
Okay.
Someone tweeted who would win in a fight, and they said 100, and they used an expletive to describe African Americans
Oh boy.
versus one gorilla. And then it turned into like people actually debating it. Like, could 100 people kill a gorilla? And a lot of people are like, to me, I've seen it. I didn't think it was funny at all. I'm more like, could 100 people kill a gorilla with their hands? I don't know. I don't know if you could.
I just don't like that debate. It's dumb.
So basically, why it basically started off as just a controversial statement, but people latched on to the real thing, and now it's taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, and then people are like, here's my team, and it's like they start listing black people.
Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, these were other.
I don't
people
think this
did
was
as
a
a joke.
derogatory thing. It's just like
That's how it started.
100 of okay, so it was derogatory, but then
Yeah, and it turned into more like just 100 people versus a gorilla.
okay,
But I agree
the
with you.
PG
Owen, though.
version.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the internet needs to take a step back. It's just
That was too much. Too many people latched onto that one. I was like, this isn't for me.
It's
I
just
can't do
people
it.
going down too far into wormholes with niches and communities, and it's not healthy for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't
But-
see the original joke, you're like, what is this? Well, it wasn't even a joke. It was like someone just tweeted it, and I saw people commenting on that post. Like, seriously. I think that's the joke. People were commenting on it like it was a serious thing that was going to happen.
Well, I get this thing on Reddit that
Too over
pops
my
up in
head.
my feed, the subreddit, like, explain this joke. Dennis, you
Oh,
might
yeah.
see that. And
I've seen it.
And it always catches my attention because I have no clue what the joke is. And then I go to the comments and somebody explains it. And I'd say 150% of the time it's stupid and it's not even funny. So it's just like people like, yeah, it sucks because it's just these jokes.
I mean, do you expect to be on social media and just like every tweet, you're like, oh my God, that's so good?
No.
No.
But when it overtakes all of Twitter, I expect
when it cracks
to
through the
be
surface, it better
engaged.
be pretty good.
Yeah. I explained it poorly and you knew exactly what it was. So it's got a far
Yeah.
reach.
So how many people do you think could be for a gorilla versus how many people would win?
100 seems high. I am
Yeah,
interested in the
but you
question.
are only using your hands. Have you ever seen a gorilla? You punch that thing, it's not feeling a thing.
100 still seems high. I think
But
it would take out the first 25. I think it would start to get weakened. But maybe another 15 can do some damage. I'd say closer to 65 people.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if 100
People are
punching
independently, yeah, like they all have, I mean, a little bit of willpower and they're doing a little bit of damage. I think you get to 65. It's pretty. You can
Well,
do it.
I
Mr.
think
Beast,
just
I
say-
guess, is creating a video of this.
Yeah.
How does he
See.
do that?
That's some bullshit way. Like people are wearing like a bubble suit or something. It's just not real.
And we'll for sure get 100 billion views.
I was
Yeah.
about to say I would like to see the real thing happen, but that just sounds awful to watch.
There are videos of gorillas attacking humans.
Yeah,
wanna
they're
look it up?
super strong, but bears are stronger. Grizzly bears are stronger. So I feel like this is I've seen.
You
I've
think
seen,
grizzly bears are stronger?
They
I
are
would
strong.
be
It's
more scared of a bear.
100%. It is 100% already a fact. They've already gone through this. Grizzly
Stronger,
versus
or they have claws?
grizzly
doesn't mean you're
bear
stronger.
would kill a gorilla very easily. Their bite is like 100 times
But a
stronger
gorilla's
than a
smart.
gorilla.
I'm more scared of a bear.
So, and I've seen
Now, this is comedy.
guys at the
Let's-
IX indoor amusement park wrestle
Oh.
bears. So like one guy,
Firsthand.
one gorilla.
Okay,
what?
wait. I'm
I
gonna
don't
use
get
now.
this math that you have. A guy wrestled a bear.
One guy.
And you're saying that is the
Dude,
equivalent of
okay,
a gorilla
okay.
wrestling a bear because
So
guys are
they've
the same
already-
as gorillas?
They've
And
already run
what
the
was this?
test.
Can I pause you for 1 second? Was this at the IX indoor amusement park?
Yes, it was.
That was a pretty sick thing that IX Indoor Amusement Park.
Yeah, it was.
An indoor
But-
Theme
amusement
song
park.
that everyone knows.
Yeah, at least in Cleveland.
Yeah. But anyway, they already done the who would win, a grizzly bear or a gorilla. And
Who's
they? Did
they?
all the science.
Say?
Yeah. Science did it. And science decided grizzly bear wins over a gorilla. And I saw one guy wrestle a bear at the IX Indoor Amusement Park, and the guy won. So if a guy could beat a bear, I think one guy could kill a gorilla.
This is wrong.
Well, okay, let me
Wrong.
ask a different question. How many people would it take to kill a bear?
According to Owen, one guy.
Infinite.
You said one guy did it at the IX.
Oh yeah. Okay, well
So
the murder.
I'm trying to understand this
Did
math.
that I didn't think it would go this deep, and I didn't think I'd have to be asked.
Here's the thing, Owen. I drop you in. You open your bedroom door, and the door gets locked behind you. What would you rather have in there, a gorilla or a bear?
A gorilla. I feel like I
Okay,
could
but-
I feel like I could reason with the gorilla on why he doesn't
That
want to be
is
around
true.
me.
That is true. I feel like gorillas are more lazy. I guess.
I
than
give the gorilla
a-
I'd give the gorilla something. Like, I'd be like, oh, here's a sock.
banana.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
something. A grizzly bear, I think, would just be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking eat this guy.
Well, let's
Do
shift
gorillas
topic.
eat?
Let's shift
Do gorillas
topics.
eat meat? Are they carnivores?
No, I don't think they
Gorillas?
do.
Yeah, so
No,
definitely
but
a
they
grizzly bear.
they like to play with people's brains just for
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, the NFL draft. Dennis,
Oof.
that was a long time ago. How much do you remember of it?
The draft.
Yeah.
This is like the first year I've actually watched the. I usually just watch the highlights, but I don't. As I get older, I'm watching more and more pointless sports things. And also the Shadur Sanders thing was pretty interesting.
That
Just
was
how-
fascinating.
Yeah. So, Owen, were you on top of that at all? Do you have any context?
I have no clue who got what. I don't know a single college player.
You know who Shadur Sanders is?
Never heard of him.
Do you know?
Do you know?
I
Go
know
ahead, Dennis.
Deion Sanders. Yeah, I know Deion
Yeah.
Sanders.
So his son, and so Deion Sanders has he's famous for being like a college coach now, where he goes into these schools and basically uses all his money and fame to get people to come there and makes the program really good. And so his son was the quarterback at Colorado State, right, Kevin?
I think this is Colorado.
Okay, Colorado. And Shadur was thinking that he was going to be drafted pick number 2 overall in the draft. And the Browns had pick number 2. And so people are like, are the Browns going to take him? And he's kind of like a cocky sort of guy, flaunts his money and all this sort of stuff. And the Browns didn't take him. The whole first round passed. So there's 32 picks in the first round. No one picked him.
Dennis, let me pause you for 1 second. Owen, if you've never watched the NFL draft, these guys that are supposed to be top 15 picks, they have
I get it.
They have
I get it,
studios
Kevin.
set
I've
up.
seen
They
it.
have crowds around. Well, maybe there's
I've seen
somebody
it.
who hasn't. Okay,
Oh.
well, I'm just kind of dumbing it down for maybe somebody else who hasn't seen it. There's crowds around, they're like a crowd just waiting there for you to take this call and be on TV, and it's really sad, but also kind of funny when somebody does all that and then they keep dropping.
Yeah. And so the first round's on Thursday. He wasn't picked. And then Friday came is the second and third round. So 32 teams go in the second round, not picked. 32 teams go in the third round, not picked.
Shit.
And then the fourth round and the fifth, I think there's 3 rounds on Saturday.
Yeah,
Um,
the bottom
and
three.
so the fourth round goes by, not picked. And then the fifth round comes and the Browns picked him. And so this guy's now on the Browns, which people thought he was going to go second pick in the first round, and he dropped to the fifth round, which the value of that that's unheard of, really.
It
that
is wild.
Someone dropped that much.
The swinging doors moment there, and it really shows how smart the Browns were, because they clearly knew something about Shadur Sanders, because they could have easily shifted the entire paradigm of that draft by just drafting him like everybody expected. But they clearly knew something, and because they knew something, everybody else was like, oh, I'm staying away from this guy. And they almost willed it into existence to get this guy in the fifth round. They're like, oh, kind of cool move by them.
I think he
Damn.
did, because they do these teams interview him before they draft him, and what people are saying is he came off very cocky and didn't study anything, all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping that this humbled the guy dropping that much, and that he'll have a chip on his shoulder and try to play well.
And then the big storyline out of that is the Browns now have 5 quarterbacks, which is
Yeah.
unheard of. They've got the massage guy.
Are any of them good?
No, they're not.
No.
They have the massage guy, 2 rookies, a former backup from the Steelers. Yeah,
Small hands.
It's going to be an interesting season for the Browns. I think the craziest part about the draft, Dennis, I didn't watch much of it, but just seeing the footage of how many people showed up to Green Bay, which is one of the hardest places in the country to get to.
Yeah, actually, the one guy that works for me went to the draft because his friend has a house. So Green Bay is just in like a suburb, I guess, and it's just surrounded by houses. So his friend has a house there. I guess the whole storyline was people trying to get people to park at your house. Like the guy had spots at his house for $150. He made, I think, like close to $1,000 of people parking in his house.
That
But
doesn't
yeah, I
seem like
guess
that
it's-
much.
Yeah, it doesn't either.
Well, I think he said that the first day it was people paid for parking, and then after the following days, not as much. But yeah, it's a weird city, Green Bay. Like, what's the big city near that?
Milwaukee, but it's not even close to Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the players like I think they live closer to Milwaukee than they do to Green Bay.
It is crazy that at one point Aaron Rodgers was the biggest name in NFL football and that he was forced to live. Like, people hate living in Cleveland. Imagine being forced to live in Green Bay as like a big name person like that.
Yeah.
I think Appleton, Wisconsin is where most of them live, actually. That was which I don't think is a big city either.
Where's Bon Iver from?
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
His name is just as ridiculous as the city that he lives in.
Actually, I read a fun fact about Bon Iver. His name was remember when I was talking about that show Northern Exposure? That was kind of like rival Twin Peaks. That's where his name came from. So validates that show even more.
Really?
Oh, damn.
Came from
What
that
was
show.
the name of it?
It's I guess in like one of the episodes, somebody said Bon Iver, and I don't know. That's Wikipedia. I did not fact check that
It'd
at
be funny
all.
if they actually said Bon Iver. He just named it Bon Iver.
Come here, Bon Iver, my skinny love. All of these things are just ripped off from this show.
He just made it like hipstery.
Yeah. He just added some tattoos and became balding. Okay, Dennis, really quick though. I have not followed this Bill Belichick story though. And I need you to fill me in on it because I know all anybody's talking about.
Same here.
Owen.
Dennis is clearly the one that's plugged into the internet.
He's our sports
lately.
guy for sure.
I guess. So you know Bill Belichick, coach of the Patriots, former coach, fired.
And he coaches where now, Dennis?
UNC.
Nice.
I always read that and I read the word unk.
The old
And I get confused because people are calling Shannon Sharp unk, I guess. And so I kept seeing Bill Belichick unk, and I'm like, well, he's got this nickname too.
big rivalry
no.
game tonight, Duke versus Unk.
And so he's like 74, and he's dating a 24-year-old woman. But he was on I think either 60 Minutes or CBS
Sunday mornings.
Yeah, CBS Sunday Morning, and he has a book that just came out, and they were interviewing him about the book and other things, and he's talking about it, and the interviewer was like, they have like this voiceover that's like, and his girlfriend she interrupt once, and he's like, and this wasn't the first time she did that. She interrupted multiple times during the interview.
Live broadcast, right?
No, not live. They edited it. I have a clip of it if you guys want to see it.
I would like to see it if you
I
don't
do.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull up the clip.
Wait 1 second. But there's a controversy around one of the statements that they said.
Did you guys ever see the footage of him like doing the walk of shame from this girl's house at 72 years old, like in cold Boston weather? It's like the saddest thing. It's just,
that's so funny.
Oh, is that the Ring doorbell one?
yeah, it's so pathetic. It's
Yeah.
just, God, how self-conscious must you be to have to be 75 and date a 25-year-old?
I think this guy is the opposite of. After watching this interview, I think he just doesn't care.
Right.
He's just like,
that's what it sounds like to me. I think he's like, I don't give a shit. What do I like? Who cares?
yeah. Because even the way he talks in this interview, it's like he
Ted,
doesn't. Okay, let
you
me
just
see.
shifted my perspective. So he's just a confident ass man. You win
Yeah, he's like,
8 Super Bowls.
Just a confident, ass man.
Ass man. Yeah.
Also,
When it comes to getting ass.
He's confident.
also the sweater he's wearing. This is something I could see Owen wearing.
Okay.
So she's
Now you
dressing
got
him.
me locked in.
No. All right, ready?
Oh God, that's cool.
Yeah,
though.
I'd wear that.
Was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan,
thread over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No.
No.
What a bitch.
You're comfortable commenting on.
So the theory is that she's actually an escort, and that's how they met.
You know who he looks like? A really old Jake Gyllenhaal.
Kind of, yeah.
You'd have
I
to
can
look.
see that.
He just has this similar,
Fatter, yeah.
like a fat old Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, and do you like the sweater he's wearing?
Yeah, I love that sweater. It's a great sweater.
It was sick. I
knew
liked it
you
too.
would.
You don't like it, Dennis?
It's got holes in it.
Oh my god.
So,
if I wore that sweater around my kids, they would fucking
Oh,
hang
fuck.
on it.
Dennis, that's called moth technology. You pay top notch for that in the running community. That's moth bite technology.
Mm-hmm.
Do they use real moths for that?
Or Owen?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Owen does not like talking about it. This is weird. You do not like talking about that.
Okay, so the
some reason.
question is, did he buy that navy holy sweatshirt like that, or has that just been in his closet for the past 40 years?
No, I think that it's been in his closet for the last 40 years, and that's what makes it better.
But
Yeah.
to wear that on a live broadcast, though, that is, the guy's
That's
a
what- well,
confident
he
ass.
You're on
always-
his escort.
He also
He doesn't
always
care.
he was always cutting his sleeves from his sweatshirt. So that's just like that he's had that sweatshirt forever. Everything in his wardrobe has been in there since the 80s and 90s probably. And he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just fucking wear this. I don't care.
So the last part of the story is Bill Belichick wrote an email after this interview about basically how people are gonna twist his words and all this sort of stuff. And he didn't post it. This Jordan girl posted the email like as his statement, and
Oh,
it's
that's
just
funny.
gotten weird.
So was there other interruptions? So it was just her saying we're not talking about that. What else was in there?
They just mentioned that she interrupted multiple times.
But-
And their side of the story is that he only came there to talk about the book, and that's why they're interrupting.
Yeah, that's
saying we're
fair.
not talking
People
about-
are getting a little too. I feel like this isn't that. CBS knew that they had something good here, so like, oh, this will create more controversy and we'll get more clips if we post this. I bet there's a million different interviews where you have managers and everyone else in the background saying, no, we're not discussing that.
I agree.
I know, but I think it's just Bill Belichick's image is like he's a hard ass, can speak for himself, and to have this 24-year-old woman basically speaking for him and like defending him like he's a baby.
I don't know. So
I think damages his image a little bit in the football world.
No,
I think
that
so.
This is better. He's like, I didn't want to do this interview anyways. I was just told to do it because I'm gonna get paid a bunch. You take care of what I should talk about and what I shouldn't talk about, and let me just care about nothing else.
If you've been following the Bill Belichick saga for the past year and a half, or ever since he was fired from the Patriots, basically the whole thing was about how he rebranded himself because nobody wanted to hire Bill Belichick, like the old curmudgeon, stubborn guy.
Yeah.
So he's been going on all these media publicity, like going on like whatever, Pat McAfee and all these shows, just trying to rebrand himself. And that's how he ended up getting this UNC job. So now my new running theory is that, like, because it sounds like she's also his publicist. Because I was watching that clip from Part of My Take where they were reading an email from her where she's like, hey, like, make sure you don't Bill's son's now working for him at UNC. Like, make sure you don't like associate those two together. Like, it's a Nepo hire. Also, we're working on a trademark for Chapel Bill, like Chapel Hill, Chapel Bill. So she like is just kind of taking control of the Bill Belichick brand. So I think my other theory is that maybe he was just like, she was his publicist and then they started dating. And now she has to continue being his publicist. And it's just like, they don't want to talk about that.
I like
That's a
Kevin's
good theory, yeah.
That was perfect.
They claim that they met on a flight. What they came out after the interview to say, I that seems more believable. Like there was some power thing,
Right, where they don't want that to become
Yeah.
the story. And she's smart. Like, she's almost like, because she doesn't want it to pretend like she's in a position of weakness. So, yeah.
Do you think 2 years from now they're still together?
I think they're soulmates. I
hope so. Yeah.
I think they're soulmates. Okay, so speaking of weird relationships, I've gotten into a show I never thought I would like this past couple weeks, 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh wow!
And I can sell you guys on it. You've heard the spiel.
it.
You've heard the spiel.
I've seen it too.
And I didn't realize they've gotten so far away from the fiance angle. It now is just the weirdest fucking couples you'll ever see. And I'm
90-day
locked in.
freaks.
It is 90 days. No, or just freaks. Just freaks.
Wait, in 98 Day Fiance, was there like a one time a guy that was really short and had no neck?
Yeah,
I don't know.
the guy
Maybe-
that were. He said you're my best view, and she went. Eh.
But
That was like
what-
the viral quote from.
But
him.
what's so fascinating to me about it is I always had this vision in my head. Oh, it's these couples that don't really love. They're just getting a green card marriage. But now it doesn't seem like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never seen any of the previous seasons. But now it just like seems like people who are in love, but they just are such weird matches. So here's a few of the couples. There's one, it's a guy who was married with kids, lived in LA. Then he got divorced, was gay, dated a guy from Mexico or something. That person then transitioned to a woman, like without his permission, and now he's forced to date this woman. He's a guy who like spent his whole life trying to come out as gay. Finally gets the comfort of like dating a male from Mexico, and then that male decides to transition on him, and now he's like trying to marry this person, and it's like it's so funny, like it's crazy. And then the other,
crap. That sounds entertaining.
yeah, oh my god, it's fascinating. There's
Is he like visually frustrated with the whole situation?
I for sure, yeah. There's this whole okay.
I'm interested in
I'll
that.
go there because there was a whole storyline about like what's it called, name forgetting when somebody transitions,
Dead name.
dead naming. There's a whole storyline where they're like talking about the past. They're like, oh, like Douglas, you used to date Douglas here, and Douglas, who's now I don't know Marissa or something, is like pissed that they keep using his
dead name,
his dead
or
name,
her dead name.
But at the same time, like think about the perspective of that guy who like had all these great memories with Douglas, and like,
Yeah.
is he just supposed to forget like the Douglas memories? Like, no, it's so complicated. And
So
then,
are you pro or anti-trans?
let's go to the next couple. The next couple is a throuple. It's
Oh god.
two people who were married, and then
Is there one person that's like this person's left out of situations?
I can't figure it out. I don't know how it
Okay.
works. And then there's just I don't know. There's just a bunch of weird couples. There's a guy from New Jersey who lives with his parents, doesn't have a job, who's marrying a Ugandan woman who's very successful in Uganda, moved over to the States, and now she's living with this guy who's basically just an incel. And
Does
it's
she just want like a green card?
no,
something?
she seems to. They all genuinely seem to love each other.
Because that's what was it originally? 90 Day Fiance, like the person.
Yes,
It almost was like I bought a woman from China. And
I think
she's over here.
I think some of them were. I think somewhere it was pretty obvious that those people were coming in just so they could become U.S. citizens. But I think some genuinely met like on a trip, fell in love with each other, and that I don't know.
it seems
It
like it's gone
works out or it
further in
doesn't.
that direction, Owen, because I'd say all the couples genuinely, because they all want to leave. Like all these people are there and they're like, I don't want to be in America. Oh my, Owen, do you want to sign off? This is like
Dude,
your 12th yawn.
I'm so hungry and so tired. Today.
Okay,
I didn't
I'll keep
sleep
this
at all
Owen
going.
last
seems
night. I'm
stressed. Like,
trying.
what are you so stressed about? Can you tell me?
God, just trying to get all my plans together for the house that I'm flipping. So
Okay.
Oh shit.
That's
This house
that's a good
again.
transition. So you are stressed out about house flipping because you're flipping a house. Meanwhile, you're watching a show called Renovation Aloha.
I
Can't
love
you
it.
find some separation? Of course, you're going to be stressed out.
I can't. I'm watching the bond market yield every day. I've decided to stop doing that, so I don't log on to see what the bond market's doing. Just
What are you
'cause
looking for
that's
there?
That's
I
what,
have no idea.
that's what
like,
mortgage rates follow bond yield. So
Oh,
uh,
you're hoping they dropped?
Oh yeah, you want them to go down, 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 baby. And they've been going down, but I don't tell me what happens right now. I don't want to know because that's like I
We're
found
not
myself
going to
looking
spoil
at
the
them.
bond market for you.
Spoiler alert! I'm watching it
Bonds are
right after this.
I'm watching the bond market right after this. Shh, 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 shh.
I don't like any type of spoilers in my life at all.
How- This house flipping thing. You're so stressed about it. Are you sure you want to do this like full time?
Yeah,
I know.
I am fine. I'm fine, guys. I just there's a lot that goes on, so it's just like a lot of or small things I stress out about. I do this with every single thing in my life, though. So if I'm not stressed out about something, I probably am not. I don't care as much. It's
should
just
start
I
drinking
gotta find
more.
that balance.
Mhm.
I drink a lot less. I actually drink whenever I drink, it ends up getting worse. So I try to avoid that.
Well, maybe smoke too.
Smoking would be good.
Smoke and
You're right.
drink.
Nitrous oxide.
I just keep
Yeah.
trying the different things until one sticks, and then I
Keep
leave
adding
house,
drugs.
leave house flipping altogether, and I finally found what I'm passionate about.
Just living
and-
on the streets.
Pop a
Yes.
couple Quay and go on a vacay.
But no, I just didn't sleep that well last night, and I wasn't stressed out. I think it was just more thinking of options and what I should be doing. So it wasn't like
Oh, I thought you were like bonds versus options.
So is watching Renovation Aloha helping or hurting your stress level?
their house. I really like their houses. They flip really nice houses, and it's so like all the other shows, they're like in the middle of like Kansas City. And you're like, I don't give a fuck about Kansas City houses and all these
Yeah.
dumpy people coming. Renovation Aloha, it's all in Hawaii.
I imagine that show though would make me frustrated because it's like a 30-minute episode and they're doing all this stuff.
No,
No?
I don't feel that way.
Okay.
I agree, Dennis, and they have probably a lot more resources behind them, and the
Yeah,
benefit
it's like
of
all
yeah.
probably half fake. The
Yeah,
houses
no, it's
are
definitely mostly like fake stuff because
yeah.
there's another guy that is doing a show here in Seattle, James Daynard, the $1 Million Zombie Flips, and I know most
Zombie
of those people
Flips?
that are in that show.
What a
No,
title
it's-
for a show. I
There's
makes me
some
wanna-
other.
Me
No,
too.
I know it is the
Are there
worst title.
zombies?
There's the worst title, but it's because it's a like a spin-off of Zombie House.
The Walking Dead. Oh,
So-
What
so
is
there's
how do you consider a zombie house? What is considered?
It's just
There was, like,
something
some
that is
druggie in it?
shitty. It's shitty, and they brought it back to life. Is what it sounds like.
that's kind of cool. I like the
don't know.
concept of a zombie house.
I didn't come up with a name. I'm just saying that there is one here, and I know most of those flippers that are in that show, and it's all just fake. So like it's all a set. So that's what I'm
Dennis.
realizing. All TV is a set. Same
Oh, yeah.
goes for
I
the
was on a show
rehearsal.
like
Yeah, Dennis.
The
was on one of
rehearsal
the
is
house
completely
shows.
fake.
Yeah.
You were on
I
a
was on
show?
a HG on my street. They flipped a house. It was a pilot for a show, and they came to my door and they were looking for people in the neighborhood. We should find this clip. And so they knocked on our door, and we just had Freddie, so we had a newborn, and they wanted us. So they had us initially walk by and pretend like we were interested in the house, and they're like, just walk by and say, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" So we did that. They had us like once they were done, they had an open house, but it wasn't really open house. It's just we showed up when they wanted us to, and the people showed us the house. So I had to walk through the house and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!"
I gotta get this clip.
I
need
have it
to
on my
see
phone.
this.
I'll send it to you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! Why haven't you showed me this?
It aired on HGTV, and people would text me and be like, "You're on HGTV right now," because we're like the couple of the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and we're walking through. I did a shot before I went in because I'm like, this is gonna be so awkward.
Yeah.
I'm not one to like really show emotions.
No,
for
you're like
things.
Nathan Fielder.
I'm like, oh wow,
Wow.
yeah. And the house sold. It took a while to sell because it was like 3 times the price of what houses were on our street.
My cousin
Yeah, I'd
Kip,
like to see.
occasional listener of this show, was also on a one of those house buying shows where they show you 3 houses and then you pick one. Like one of the most famous ones. And if I recall correctly, Kip, if this is wrong, please come on the pod and explain. But I believe it was that he had already bought a house and then they just pretended like they were showing him all 3, but he already owned one at that point.
Yeah.
So wait, did they just drive around and be like, "Hey," they're knocking on doors like, "Hey, we're making a show. I know you've owned this house for 15 years, but do you want to pretend like you just bought it and we'll make a show
They
out
probably
of it?"
just look at property records and like cold call people and like probably do like make sure they look like a normal family that you'd want to put on TV, that it's not some 450-pound
That
guy.
shit pisses me off. So this 90-day fiance is it's all bullshit too.
You're
I
probably
think
right.
all these reality
yeah.
shows are,
And
except for
that's what
Squid
makes
Games.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and
yeah,
that was bullshit, I guess.
it is
Yeah,
all
that was
bullshit.
even bullshit. And the rehearsal though, I just like this last episode. I don't
So
know.
good.
I just feel like it's still. I don't agree.
No,
feel
so
like
so the rehearsal, the Nathan Fielder show, they had that singing contest.
Oh,
whatever.
Canadians got talent or Canadian Idol.
Yeah, because they basically wanted to find someone that was good at a captain that was good at
speaking up and giving hard conversations
Yeah.
and telling people no, you can't.
yeah.
I don't know. You're not moving.
So
on.
Kevin, I found what you mentioned where all these people that have been on like reality shows, they hop to different shows, and so they were, or what your dad mentioned, and so they were commenting about the show like 9 months ago about the singing competition, and they were talking about it like it was a real
Hilarious.
thing, and they're like, so and so reached out from blah blah blah, but it's singing, like they reached out to people.
Oh, that's what made
And-
it so good. Yeah, that was amazing. What was
so
it called?
seemed
Like,
to be, people thought it was real, like they didn't know it was Nathan Fielder.
and the premise of the show was like airline pilots judging singers because it like the title
Yeah.
had. Oh, that's so fucking
like
funny.
Americans or American Idol.
But
okay.
was the response where they're trying to find people, was they put out their feelers for people that were already on reality shows though?
Yeah, because like what Kevin's dad said, they're already vetted.
Yeah.
It's easier to put them on TV.
And I always said that was the whole premise of Nathan For You, if you ever watched it, was that he basically would put up these listings in LA, and everybody in LA is so desperate for attention, he could get the weirdest people to like, and they would take
Yeah.
these, and they're crazy, and they just take them out of context and make it funny. Speaking of LA, I do have, so I wanted to talk about Warren Lotas really quick. Warren
Who
Lotas,
is that?
it's this streetwear brand. You may have seen
Oh.
like the designs.
Let me look.
Let me look.
It's
Yeah.
way out of Owen's like realm of fashion, but it's like very into like streetwear. And you've probably seen like some knockoffs of it, but he really popularized like that skeleton style, like Old West.
Oh yeah.
I'm showing a thing right now. It's a guy in a Packers uniform, but he's also like a skeleton with giant muscles, and it's like this very
It's like
stylized
a weird outline.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
artsy. And so this guy's gotten pretty famous on like Instagram and sells these T-shirts for like $200 a pop. And I kind of hate him, but he does these kind of, every once in a while he does these kind of crazy stunts that catch my attention. And here's what he did. So he has a store in Hollywood, Melrose or something, and he'll just go on his Instagram and say like, "Oh my God, there's a guy that just robbed my store. If anybody can find him and tackle him, I'll give you $3,000 or something like that." In this case, he like the latest one, he gave him a gold bar worth like $3,000, and so people around LA will take part in this. And so then this one, he hired this guy to dress.
This is real?
Yeah, he hired this guy to dress up as like what he called the French tickler. It's just this guy in a cowboy hat with like a what do you call those jackets? Like a
Duster?
yeah, like a duster or like a what a raincoat kind of thing. Trench coat, and boots. And so this guy just runs around Hollywood for hours at a time, and people actually will show up. Dennis, you would love this. They actually show up and like start tackling this guy, and they get it on footage. And then so once they tackled the guy, they had to face him off in a paintball gun duel. And if they won the paint, this is not going to translate the podcast, but it is.
Well, no,
nuts.
I think it is. You're painting a really good picture. I got
Yeah.
this down, so I think that was
Is this
good.
guy doing this for social media clips?
He's doing it
Yes.
pure for just social media stunts. It's like a
Okay.
social media stunt. And
Okay.
So yeah, like I was kind of tracking it all day long, and then this guy, like everybody kept tackling the guy, and then they didn't win the duel. So it went on for like 8 hours, and finally somebody won. Yeah, it's just I enjoyed that.
I like that. I don't like
You're
the
not.
shirts.
You're not
I like
getting
his
off
idea.
social media.
I'm trying to get more on it, to be honest.
Yeah, Kevin's deeper. Well, Kevin is so far off. He didn't even understand. He didn't even. I said gorilla. He said, huh? So he's behind, but he does
Yeah.
need to go deeper. Dennis, you maybe need to pull it back.
I think I'm too deep.
I don't do TikTok. I have my Instagram algorithm, but my Twitter, like even when I go on Twitter, yeah.
You have your Instagram algorithm.
Fine tuned.
and then Twitter, I go on every once in a while, and every day it's just everybody posting about the same thing, and it's just exhausting.
Dude, miss a day on Twitter though, you miss a lot. So
I
isn't that
agree.
the plain
You miss a lifetime.
dealer saying miss a day,
Yeah.
miss a lot? Because you could be like, what the fuck did I just walk into? But it is the most fun. Other than the gorilla thing, I think I'm just in a different mindset right now that things are. I don't have.
I don't like your mind. And I'm seeing you this weekend. It's a bad mindset. Can you
I'm
fix it?
tired. I'm telling you, I'm just tired. I'll be fine by the time the wedding comes around.
Okay.
Are you watching the studio, Owen? It's almost the opposite of social media. It's all about like trying to bring big like movies back with Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, I started watching that. I got in a few episodes. So
It's a little stressful though.
it's a
It's a stressful
okay.
show.
I think it was entertaining. There's something about Apple TV shows that I think I already brought this up, but something is just a little bit off. And I don't know if it's just the way that they're shot, their cameras that they use. They seem to like
High def.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, like too realistic and too that it makes them seem, I don't know, something's fucked up.
I like
or maybe
it.
it's just because it's all set in California.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
a
the
weird like
shrinking was that way, studios that way.
Yeah.
You might be onto something. It might have really high production quality, and you're used to watching Renovation Aloha or fishing YouTube channels. Like, it's gonna look a little bit off-putting. It's gonna look a little seasoned.
Dude, YouTube is up for Owen. I am on YouTube way more than I'm on anything else because you could find anything. You're like, I want to watch something about this. You search it and you'll find
like
it.
what are
But
you
can't
watching that's not renovated or housing related or fishing or clothing?
I like this question. What's the last thing you watched on YouTube? Dennis, you go first since you brought it up.
Me?
Yeah. Or I can tell mine. I watched the original Simpsons from 1988 because I was wondering why people still watch this show. I watched like the first, like, it's very interesting.
Was it it was a Christmas episode, right?
No, it was like originally a short on another variety show.
The Tracy Ullman show?
Yeah, and I was watching it, and what I realized watching it was that back then, like, it was just coming out of, this is going to get a little pretentious, but it was just coming out of like Ronald Reagan era, like where like families good, conservative values good, and it's all like I realized like the Simpsons is all a parody of that. Like, there's the dad who goes to work and does his job, and there's his 2 kids and a dog and the wife who stays at home, and it's all like making fun of Ronald Reagan, and how it's lasted this long is insane.
Yeah, the last thing I watched in Roblox, which was probably like 2 hours. I mean, not on YouTube. The last thing I watched on YouTube was a guy and his 2 daughters playing Roblox because that's what my kids were watching.
How's Roblox different than Minecraft?
It's bad. I don't let my kids play it.
Oh, I heard that there's like you could make some pretty fucked up things on Roblox. Actually,
yeah, I let them play it for a little bit, and I had like
forgot
child settings on, and then Freddie's playing a game, and the guy's face in the game literally scared me. It was fucking freaky, and this is like a 5-year-old playing it.
Yeah, I actually have this like bark thing that's supposed to tell you what your what the kids are watching. I still haven't set it up. I just have it plugged in and haven't done anything.
It's just a threat, like a Nest or a Ring camera that doesn't work.
Basically,
okay.
But I got a notification from Bark just in general that they sent to everyone about Roblox, about how there's some things where you can like recreate like the school, that one shooting at Old Dove, Texas.
Jesus.
So Roblox is all user created games, and you basically you go into one and it's like, oh, it's the set of, I don't know, Mickey Mouse set, and you can run around. Like there's kid stuff you can do, but then there's also like just fucked up.
Is it like open source? Like nobody's really regulating it?
Basically, I mean they try to.
Right.
Like, people get stuff past there.
This is like kind of like, remember how SpongeBob was, I don't know if you guys remember this, but SpongeBob was supposed to be an adult show, but then it turned into a kid show. Roblox is supposed to be like, it was supposed to be a kid's game, but now it's turned into like X-rated.
It's exactly like that. Minecraft is so much more kid friendly
because it's just blocks. The show just building.
The one they watch is like a dad and their kids, so they're only playing kid stuff.
They're just doing 9/11 flybys.
Yeah, the plane doesn't crash. It just
he lands.
People clap.
What a cool timeline that would be.
Yeah,
we'd have to go to football practice that day though.